September the 27th. Judas and John contrasted. The opportunities and advantages offered to John were given to Judas too. The same principles of truth were set before his understanding. The same example in Christ's character was his to contemplate and imitate. But Judas failed to become a doer of Christ's words. Evil temper, revengeful passions, dark and sullen thoughts were cherished until Satan had full control of the man. John walked in the light and improved the opportunities given him to overcome. But Judas chose his defects and refused to be transformed into the image of Christ, and therefore became a representative of Christ's enemy and manifested his attributes. When Judas came into association with Christ, he had some precious traits of character that might have been used of God and made a blessing to the church. If he had been willing to wear the yoke of Christ, to become meek and lowly of heart, he might have been among the chief of the apostles. But he hardened his heart when his defects were pointed out, and in pride and rebellion chose his own selfish ambitions, and so unfitted himself for the work God might have given him. John and Peter, though imperfect, became sanctified through the truth. It is the same today as it was in Christ's days. As the disciples were brought together, each with different faults, some inherited or cultivated tendency to evil. So in our church relations we find men and women whose characters are defective. Not one of us is perfect, but in Christ and through Christ, we are to dwell in God's family, learning to become one in faith, doctrine, and spirit, that at last we may be received into our eternal habitation. We shall have our tests, grievances, our differences of opinion, but if Christ is abiding in the heart of each, there can be no dissension. The love of Christ will lead to love of one another, and the lessons of the Master will harmonize all differences, bringing us into unity, till we shall be of one mind and one judgment. Strife for supremacy will cease, and no one will be disposed to glory over another, but we shall esteem others better than ourselves, and so be built up into a spiritual temple for the Lord. The lessons given to Peter, Judas, and the other disciples are profitable to us and have a special importance at this time. Signs of the Times, April the 20th, 1891. I hope that this was enough to carry you through your day. Remember to join us tomorrow. Goodbye.